No.1 Sentai Gozyuger is already off to an insane start with the introduction of the Universe Warriors, so let's speculate who's coming next. Hello everyone, it's thomasjujube, and I think we can all agree that one of the coolest parts of Gozyuger's first couple of episodes was the return of Kuwagata Oger, played by Taya Handel, aka Boon Reds actor from the previous Sentai that just ended, using a Tega sword and Sentai ring to transform. Now, we had known for a couple months now that they were going to be including these rival Red Rangers called Universe Warriors or Universe Senshi, however you want to say. But the alternate universe angle thing using other actors was kind of totally unexpected. We didn't really know what they were going to be doing until the first few episodes dropped. So now myself and basically everyone else is wondering what mix-ups and whatevers are going to be doing next for the next characters. So I thought it would be kind of fun to sit down and get a little discussion about where we're going. Make sure you let me know your ideas down in the comment at any point during the video, or let me know if you like any of the other ideas I'm bringing up here. So, first up, we already have confirmed we're getting Don Momotaro and Ryusoul Red. Now, I am a little late to recording this because we now already know that Don Momotaro is kind of not breaking the trend because we've only had one other guy here. I did ask this question before we got the preview for next week, so I did like a lot of the ideas. I'll still show and talk about some of the ones here. Basically, the two big ones were people wanted to either see Taro's actor himself return, because in Don Brothers he does say he's the only one who will ever be Don Momotaro, which has been made false. A few other people were saying they would like to see Geets' actor play him, which I guess is because he auditioned for Don Momotaro, which I didn't know. I think that would have been kind of interesting, but the thing is, a lot of these suggestions are also like Kamen Rider actors playing Sentai actors, and there's like one small connection, which I guess would be fine, but I don't know. There's some in here that some ideas that I think I would like a bit more, but I'll elaborate as we get there. Vaughn also said he would have liked to see himself as Red Racer. I've just included that here because he also said Taro as Don Momotaro, and I guess Mid wants Ace as Geets. Sure. Now we do know that it's the actor playing Taro, or Don Momotaro, sorry, not Taro, is new to the Sentai franchise. However, his most prominent role in Tokusatsu previously was Tregear from Ultraman Taiga, and Tregear's big rival is Ultraman Taro. So that's enough of a coincidence, insane coincidence, that I don't think it's a coincidence. I think that was an intentional joke. They got an Ultraman actor named Taro, or an Ultraman rival of a guy named Taro, to play Don Momotaro. That feels a little too perfect. So I think that does kind of lend to some of the crazy ideas people have been giving here, where Taya is Boon Red, he is Boon Red. Taya's actor as Kuwagata Oger, I've been saying there's not really any connection there, and there's like a slight connection with Don Momotaro. So it really could be anything. A lot of people's ideas that I've been seeing are like, get like a Kamen Rider actor with like the most basic connection to the Ranger, or get someone else on the team to be the Ranger. I kind of think, for the most part, getting another member of the team to just play their Red Ranger is kind of boring. Even if they're a different character, I think there's more interesting ideas that can be done there. So the only other one we have confirmed showing up right now is Ryusoul Red. At first I was thinking it could have been Gira, for no real reason, because at first I thought it was just going to be, let's use previous actors, but now that we know they're doing whatever straight out of the gate with Don Momotaro, could be anything. So a couple ideas were Zato, I forgot his name, Zato from Power Rangers as Ryusoul Red, because why not? Hunter Deno as Ryusoul Red, a few Power Rangers ideas. This one, Yamato as Ryusoul Red, Zhuo Eagle now playing Ryusoul Red. That's like one of the ones where it's like, yeah, this is kind of random. Like they can do whatever with these. It does seem like they're prioritizing stuff from the marketing or from the toys, because the first three Universe Warriors we're seeing are released in the DX ring sets. Now, the only one that isn't getting the Universe Warrior is Boon Red, he's just, that ring is just appearing. So I do think that's something to keep in mind, that some of these could just be rings used by one of the characters. At the very least, it seems like these DX rings are going to be in the show. If you'd like to see me unbox the first set of Gozyuger toys, be sure to check out this video. So the only one that's unaccounted for right now in the DX sets is it's over here, the Zyuranger ring. So who will be the Zyuranger? I think hopefully they should be doing something like with Power Rangers with that, just because it is MMPR Red, and I feel like Zyuranger is such a weird choice to be including in this first set of rings, unless you're including the fact they're referencing Power Rangers. So, and they have actually said even that the Tegazord name is a pun on Megazord in a way. So they're referencing Power Rangers. So they're probably going to do some kind of reference with the Tyranno Ranger, the Red Zyuranger. So a few ideas are kind of everyone's ideas were Power Rangers related. Either, well, Tom Constantine, no, he is in Power Rangers. Yeah, he's a stunt actor in Dino Fury. So there you go. That is a Power Rangers actor technically playing a Power Ranger. Also Yoshi Sudarso playing Tyranno Ranger, because he was in Ninja and like a cameo, I think. And those would also be fun. They're stunt guys too, so they could maybe do some actual fight. And I guess maybe that references Power Rangers martial arts stuff. I don't know. I'd also like to see them use Kaito. Kaito's actor. He doesn't really have anything to do with... Well, I guess he turns into Tommy Dragonzord. So I guess he does have something to do with Zyuranger. So I think that would be kind of fun. Gao Ranger has a DX Robo Universe and a ring that are coming up. And I'm going to be honest, I have no idea who they could bring back. I think I saw a few ideas that were saying like maybe the Six Ranger, but I feel like that's just kind of, that falls into the, like, I don't want to see a Gao Ranger turn into another Gao Ranger unless there's something different there, and I can't think of anything other than if they got like the monster suit. I think his name is Loki. I know his Power Ranger's name is Zen Aku. I think that would be kind of fun to bring back. But, or maybe Gao Ranger is just a ring they have, and they're not going to fight a Universe Warrior. So from there, we do have listings of other DX ring sets that are coming out. Gao Ranger was one of them, and it's in a set with Ginga Man. Again, I don't have any ideas because I haven't seen Ginga Man. I don't really know anything about it. However, what I will bring up with Ginga Man here is that Ginga Man is a part of a handful of other suits that have girl versions or versions of the suit with skirts, which they made for Gokaiger. I'm bringing it up here because I do think that a few of these should be girls. We should have some girl Universe Reds, especially since they have these girl red suits they can just pull out of storage. Shinkenger's an interesting one because we don't have listings of a ring, but we know there's a DX Robo Universe coming, and they just got a Memorial Edition announced. So they probably want to do something Shinkenger related to get people to buy that, because it's an out of nowhere release unless Shinkenger stuff is happening. And Shinkenger is famously a season with a skirted suit within the own show. You know, maybe they could just bring back Kaoru, just have her turn it to Shinken Red again. I think that's kind of a fun thing. Like, yes, it is kind of boring because she was already Shinken Red, but she was Shinken Red in like 3 episodes, so I don't know, it's kind of fun to just do that again. Obviously she'd be a different character. There was also a suggestion to just bring the actress back and have her play a different Ranger, which I'd also be okay with. I mean, that would be pretty cool to bring her back regardless. I think Shinkenger would just be a funny thing to do for it. Aba Ranger and Ninja have ring sets. I think that for Aba Ranger, someone from Gozyuger or like Ryu Soldier for Aba Red would be kind of fun to do. Something like Aba Ranger adjacent. Like someone suggested you could get Ryoga's niece as Aba Redo, and she doesn't transform in Aba Ranger, so that would just be kind of a fun thing to do. Like have the child character in Aba Ranger now turn into Aba Redo. Or maybe they could get the lady who played Abra Pink, because technically she didn't transform either, and it'd be kind of funny to see her become an Aba Ranger. And then Ninja, maybe a Maji Ranger or one of the other Ninja Rangers. They'd bring back, this is the 6th Ranger. Yes, Kinji is right. Yes, I know he's Shinobi in other things too. I wouldn't want to see him be Ninden Red for the things I've said earlier, but I wouldn't be opposed to him turning into Hurricane Red or Kaku Ranger Red. I think that would be pretty fun. Like, I think I just realized, like, Aqua Ranger and Ninja being paired together, Dino and Ninja, and those are like the two most repeated themes. So maybe there's some kind of joke there. Maybe they're gonna have, maybe they'll appear in the same episode, and they got a Ninja as Aba Ranger and an Aba Ranger as Ninden Red. I don't know. That could be a fun thing. Sun Vulcan and Zyuoger. I don't really have any. I don't know anything about Sun Vulcan. There was a suggestion to have it be Shinken Red, so here's Shinkenger again. Maybe someone uses the Shinkenger ring in that episode, but I'm pretty sure Shinkenger's coming back, or they're using that suit at least. For Zyuoger, I feel like it'd be funny to have a Gokaiger, right? Or even a Zenkaiger, but mostly a Gokaiger, because Zyuoger's the one season where people are like, oh, it's not really an anniversary. Bring back one of the team's members that people actually think is an anniversary or whatever. So then the last two leaked ring sets we have right now are Car Ranger and Kira Major. Worth noting, we have a skirted Kira Major suit from Tengo Kaiger, so I think it would be kind of fun to do like a Tokuger, because imagination, or maybe like Kirame Pink, which I know is Kamen Rider actor back as a Sentai, which I don't really like, but it is like the one, I think the only actress to be both a Kamen Rider and a Sentai character, or like transforming character. So it would be kind of fun to do a play on that and have her be Kirame Red, since that was her show, or maybe you could bring back Ghost's Kamen Rider Spectre's actor, and that's the joke. I feel like Spectre's actor would be a bit more fun, but, and then, I mean, honestly, just bring Kirame Pink back for, like, another thing, I don't know. And then for Car Ranger, I was thinking, I feel like one of these, even Kira Major, has to be Sosuke from Goonger, just because the actor's always willing to come back, and we just saw him as Goon Red last year, so they'd probably want to do the, what they did with Taya, and bring him back as something else. And, I mean, the thing that makes the most sense is bring him back as one of the Car Sentai. So, now, of course, there's 50 teams of Sentai that they could bring back a Red Ranger for, plus some extras. So, there's a bunch of other ideas that I asked you guys for, and a few ideas I have, so I'm just going to go through some of them right now. First one is they should have Hiroki Jima as a Red Hyper Muteki as a reference to famous YouTuber thomasjujube. Just act as if he's been a Sentai Red this whole time and never address it. Alright, Aqua Ranger. Gotta do something for Aqua Ranger. I feel like the obvious things would be either Captain Marvelous, because anniversary character, or Kaito, because, well, he was a a white Aqua Red, essentially. Or sorry, not Aqua Red. A white Aqua Ranger. I also think it would be funny for either of those guys to turn into Aqua Red, or have Aqua Red, the suit, show up and use a thing to turn into Aqua Ranger. I don't think anyone's going to turn into Aqua Red because there's no, like, Aqua Red ring or something. But I don't know. That would be kind of funny. There were a few ideas to have... Well, okay. It seems like everyone wants Kamen Rider Ichigo's actor to play Aqua Red, which would... Not Aqua Red. Aqua Ranger. I can't lie, that would be pretty cool. Like, that's a fun... Like, the first Kamen Rider playing the first Sentai. That's a nice... joke, not a goke. Or even get the unofficial Sentai Red playing the first official Sentai Red. That's another fun gag I like. I think they'll do something for Dai Ranger, because the Wolf de Caliber 50, which is the weapon that Red will get, we know it's like a white ranger, like a white tiger or sword or something like that, which sounds like a reference to Kiba Ranger, and their cockpit suits already look like Kiba Ranger, which could just be a Power Rangers reference. It probably is, in all honesty, but I mean the sword is definitely something Dai Ranger, so I feel like maybe they'll do something Dai Ranger related. And I think the funny gag to do there is to get a Zyuranger, because it's Power Rangers. The White Ranger suit's the only one we actually used in Power Rangers, but I mean, still, having someone turn into the Red Dai Ranger is kind of pretty funny from Zyuranger. Like, that's a fun Power Rangers reference. Kaku Ranger's kind of the same thing. If they get a Zyuranger turning into a Kaku Ranger, because they used parts of that in MMPR, and Obviously, it's like a spin-off of MMPR. Hurricaneger, Abba Ranger, and Deca Ranger are a bit of an interesting like trio, because Hurricaneger, well, actually all three of those already had 20th after specials, so they could get those actors back. Like maybe they'll do a thing where all the Deca Rangers return and turn into different Senshi or whatever like that. Speaking of Deca Ranger, the police is driving by my house. For Maji Ranger, I like Maji Ranger a lot, so I kind of have a few ideas for this. What some people were suggesting, there were a couple ones that they should get Maji Pink's actress, because she originally auditioned for Maji Red. That's, I think, pretty well documented. So again, I know it's the thing I've been saying, it's a character from the Sentai becoming the Red, but it's, I mean, maybe I'm just biased because it's Maji Ranger, and it's also a different suit because it's going to be, for this and Kira Major, it'd be the girl version of the suit. So it would be kind of nice to have a character transformed to that's not a Gokaiger. It also would be kind of funny if they got, what was Tsubasa's actor, to play, I mean, honestly, he should just be both Maji Red and Red Buster. I feel like they gotta get him back for something in this, because he's like always appearing in the Sentai stuff, or because he's the ambassador, right? So like he's in their basement. So I feel like they're definitely either gonna do some gag with him as Maji Ranger or Red Buster, or neither, but he's just gonna be something random. So I said it would be funny for Sosuke to play the Car Ranger, Red Ranger, and they could also just do the same thing in the reverse. Get the Red Racer actor and play Go on Red, or even get the Turbo Ranger Red actor. Just get all the Car Sentai and swap them around and have an episode about that. I think that could be really fun. Gokaiger, another big thing. The two main things I've seen is either Tu Kaiser's actor as Gokai Red, because of course he was Gokai Gold, and Decade's actor as Gokai Red. I saw a lot of people say this one. I kind of get it, because they're like they crossed over a bit. They're like kind of the same thing. They were both at PMC. While we're talking about anniversary stuff, there's Akiba Ranger. I already mentioned something about that earlier, but there was also a suggestion to get the guy who played the Red character in High School Heroes as Akiba Ranger here. Now, the problem is there's no Akiba Ranger ring in the Tega Sword, so I don't think they're going to do anything Akiba Ranger, but I can't deny this would be a really cool thing to do. Another Go Buster suggestion, this is Enter's actor, right? Yes, this is Enter's actor, because it's relevant to the Go Busters finale. I mean, most of you should know that he's this suit, which is like an evil red. So just get him as the normal Red. That'd be fun. Kyoryuger, I forgot I wrote this down. For Kyoryuger, I think it'd be really funny to get Tu Kaiser, because Kyoryuger, they dance to transforming, so does Tu Kaiser to transform. That's his whole thing. That's both like their whole thing. So I don't know, it'd just be kind of a funny gag to get Tu Kaiser for just Kyoryuger randomly. I also could see them getting a King Oger, because they have that crossover, which is like the obvious connection, but also like, if you think about it, it's like, why is the Swordsman Sentai turning into the Dino one? Tokyuger, a lot of people have been saying they should get the kid actors back to play, well obviously they'd have to turn into Ichigo. They could do a gag where they have Tokyo Ichigo Universe Warrior change colors, right? Like, that's not out of the realm of possibilities. So technically I feel like any of the kid actors could come back and play Tokyo Ichigo. Q Ranger, this one's really funny. Misao, Geo of the World, because the two seasons never got a crossover. Everyone around them got a crossover though, but Misao's in the Lupin Ranger, Q Ranger, Paddle Ranger one. So that would be a really funny gag. I would be quite okay with that. Also, a lot of people have been saying they could get Hunter Dedo as Shishi Red, or even we can bring back Russell Curry for Shishi Red. Sure. Is there a girl Shishi Red suit? Did they? No, I forget. That was Marvelous in Tengo Kaiger. Hey, I mean, that would be funny. That definitely not happening, but it would be funny to see them do some kind of Power Rangers reference with the Shishi Red suit. Loop Hat, I have like a bunch of pictures here because everyone's been saying the same thing. Get both actors back and swap them. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that would be pretty cool. Obviously, change the. Well, there's a few ideas. What either they keep the same personality, so like a fun Lupin or Patron Ichigo, and then like a serious Lupin Red, or I don't know. I mean, either way, that would be a fun gag if you have both of them swap, because that's fun. But I also really like this idea to get Taro and Sonoy as either, well, both of them as whichever one they prefer, because I've been saying, like, Dawn Brothers is just a better versus Sentai, if you think about it. So that'd be a really fun reference to a thing that I've said, and I'm the only one who's ever said that. Alright, so Zenkaiger is the big one to me, not just because it's my favorite Sentai, but because, well, before I get into my ideas, a couple ideas were Tom Constantine again, from earlier, either as Gokai Red or Zenkaiser. I'd be okay with that. Or Captain Marvelous as Zenkaiser. I saw a couple other ideas as well, like Stacy as Zenkaiser. Now, the thing with Zenkaiser is I feel like there's a lot of characters within Zenkaiger that could be kind of interesting to bring back. I think any of the Kikanoids or their voice actors would be kind of fun, because the voice actors are not in the show itself, and the Kikanoids obviously are suited, so seeing them turn into Zenkaiser would be a lot of fun. I've also seen a couple ideas that they could get back the human actors from Zenkaiger as the actual suit of the Kikanoid that they're representing. Sachika Nita as Maji Red, and there's a girl Maji Red suit once again, so that would be pretty easy. On that note, actually, I forgot to mention that, of course, Tegasword's voice is Gaon from Zenkaiger, which I'm sure most of you know, but that kind of opens the door to either something Gao Ranger related, like maybe that's why we're going to see Tegasword put on Gao Ranger arms, because it's a Gaon joke. I'd be okay with that. Maybe Tegasword has something to do with the Zenkaiger ring or something. I just feel like they're going to do something special with Zenkaiger. Maybe it's just, again, cope, because I like Zenkaiger, but it's the most recent anniversary Sentai that also deals with alternate worlds and different versions of characters in alternate worlds, whether it's a different version of a Gokaiger or that one guy that kept appearing, stuff like that. And it's also the only season at the press conference that hasn't had its ring announced yet. I'll play the clips here. Like, they're all accounted for in the first few episodes of the show, except Zenkaiser. You know, my biggest wish would be that the Zenkaigers show up themselves. Maybe they give the ring or something like that. Or maybe it's some special arc, or they give a power-up, kind of like the Gokaigers appeared in Zyuohger. I don't know. It's a little hard to predict right now, especially for all of these, because we're so early into the show. But my biggest wish, idea, whatever you want to call it, copium, is that the Zenkaiger ring and the Zenkaigers themselves have some level of importance to the show. Maybe not super plot relevant, but at least some importance. So I might do this again when we're like halfway through the show, because again, there's so much we don't know right now, but I kind of wanted to talk about it now. So maybe later, once we know a lot more, we'll do a reset and look at what's happened so far and try to figure out what we're going to get next. Either way, I'm very excited to see what Gozyuger's doing. I'm really excited for this show. Make sure you check out my episode 1 review if you want to hear my thoughts on the show so far. If you want to get some sneak peeks at my next few videos, become a channel member or join the Patreon. And don't forget to let me know your ideas for the upcoming Universe Warriors, and I hope to see you next time.